One Life of an Average Joe podcast here. Brandon Navera. Weird percentage down here. Why is it showing like? Anyway, guys, we don't know what's happening, but uh,
Oh, that is weird.
yeah, there's a weird percentage here on this thing. But this is better than the last time because last time I couldn't even see Nick. So now I can actually see him. We are joined. Nick Luck is here, and this is actually our annual Star Wars show. We are a little late, but I did the first episode, I don't know, right before May the 5th. Wouldn't be Star Wars without having Nick Luck on, and we're still in May. So for me,
I'm honored.
it's Star Wars, right, dude? I know you've been busy though, man. You've been doing art show after art show. Like you just did one today or yesterday or something like that.
Yesterday, yeah. Thank you.
How'd it go?
Yeah, it was really cool. It was a little slow, but it was the first one for that particular art show. That one was the art walk. So that one only operates for about 6 months out of the year. And there were a lot of people that were coming up like asking, what's this? So after this one, the next couple ones, we'll probably get a lot more people, knowing what's going on. So it was cool seeing a lot of new people coming up. It was as always a nice event.
Nice, man. Yeah, I saw some of the stuff you posted. Guys, don't forget. My water's empty. Don't forget to. I'm a mess, guys. Don't forget to follow Nick. I'll tag all the stuff because you got to check out what he's been doing, man. It's just exploded over the past 6 months as far as what he's
Yeah.
out there. I mean, it really has, dude, and it's so awesome to see. So we'll definitely get that. We're just going to kind of talk about Star Wars because, every May, we have our Star Wars celebration, and we have announcements. Some years are better than others. This year in particular, I got really excited for what they were talking about. Number one, in particular, we got our first kind of sneak peek look at the Grogu and the Mandalorian and Grogu movie. I'm still not a fan of that name. I don't know why. I don't like the name, like Star Wars, The Mandalorian and Grogu. Like it
It
doesn't.
is a mouthful.
It's a mouthful, but I'll get over it. The movie, though, man, we're gonna get some people, some characters in this film, and I got to be honest with you. Obviously, they're not leaking. They're not going to tell us much about it. They're going to keep some things under wrap and in which direction it's going to go. But we're going to get some returning characters from what I believe was Rebels, if I'm not mistaken, right?
Yes. Yeah, that sounds about right, actually.
Yeah. So we're going to get some Rebels characters. We are getting essentially to Jabba the Hutt's kid.
That was great to hear because that's a callback. And that makes perfect sense because we've only seen him like once, right? It was the first Clone Wars outing as far
Yeah,
as the
yeah,
CG cartoon goes.
something like that. He was little, right? You remember he got kidnapped or something.
Mm-hmm.
So now he's bigger, obviously. And there's something
Like a gladiator in this movie.
he's a gladiator, yeah. And from what I'm understanding is they might have to protect him, I guess, from bounty hunt. I don't know because we didn't get a lot of information. But I'm excited to throw that in and dive into that level of lore and expand, the Hutt's presence. We've seen him in multiple movies, we've seen him in the animated series, but to kind of expand that while still dealing with the fact that Grogu is a growing Jedi Mandalorian, and while still dealing with the aftermath of everything that we saw from the previous seasons of The Mandalorian. So I think
Yeah.
I think what I was going to add. Do you think there's going to be any surprise appearances by maybe? I probably not Luke Skywalker. I don't think they're going to do that. I don't think we need that. Um,
Yeah.
we kind of had that. But are we going to see some other characters make their appearance from potentially the Ahsoka series or something like that, some more Rebels characters come to life. Are they going to try to tie the two together? Like, are they going to take what's happening in Ahsoka season two, kind of take some stuff from The Mandalorian, and then tie that into what Dave Filoni's Star Wars movie is going to be?
I think it would make sense at least to do some kind of connection to bring in Mando, even if this doesn't flat out connect the story. Even if this like story itself doesn't connect, but maybe it'll start to gravitate towards it. Like the heroes contact him at some point and say, "Hey, we need your help."
Yeah.
Um, and I wouldn't be surprised if some of the characters help him to get this mission done faster, to help him get to this bigger issue later on. Um, so that actually would make a lot of sense. I'm trying to think who would even meet up with him or find him, or find them rather. But
Because
I think that would make a lot of sense.
the only thing I could think of is, okay, so Ezra is out. He's out and about. We saw that.
Hmm.
Which, by the way, I'm going to go back and rewatch the Ahsoka series again very soon, especially the closer it gets to season two, because I really enjoyed that Ahsoka series, and I think season two is about to really lead us into something huge with Filoni and his Star Wars movies. So I need to catch up on that. But Ezra's out, and although Ezra doesn't know who the Mandalorian is or who Grogu is or anything, there are people that Mando has connected with over the galaxies in different spots that may have ties to Ezra, or at least some of the people that he rolled with. I could see potential, maybe that sort of connection there. Not to mention, Mando does know Ahsoka. He knows Ahsoka very well. Um, there could be a connection of Ahsoka's gone, missing, you know, and Mando could hear about that. But I guess what I'm really hoping for is that we do just get a really good movie with the Mandalorian and Grogu, regardless of the tie-ins. That they build a nice story, cool characters, cool action on such a bigger budget, and give us some new Star Wars movie that, quite frankly, really isn't associated with very much of the sequels or trilogy or prequels or anything. That we're just in that universe. I think Mandalorian has done a really good job of kind of being its own thing while still connecting the dots and stuff.
Yeah, that's what's so interesting and fun about it too, is that every so often we'll see those references that fill in the blanks with the sequels, but it's not something where they need to be like, "Hey, here's some sequel stuff right in your face." It's like, "Oh, okay, there's a reference there, there's a reference there. Cool, okay, you're acknowledging it. That makes sense. Okay, cool, cool." But it makes sense because it's a galaxy, so they have so much to explore without having to talk about things that happen in the sequels or things that are going to happen in the sequels, and that's nice.
Yeah,
So I fully agree with you there that with this movie, they can keep that going without having to feel pressured into doing that, or with they don't feel pressured into straying from that path. That's what I meant to say.
yeah, because we don't need, like, Filoni does a really good job of like filling in the gaps and giving us a lot more to the lore. So I appreciate the fact that he's connecting these little steps leading to where the First Order came from and what was kind of going on with Palpatine, with the cloning and all that. But I don't need to see the path to the First Order. I really don't. I don't need to see, because let's be real, the sequels just aren't great. So we don't need to see like so much bogged down by that. We can get into original story, which kind of brings me to some of the things that we've seen and some of the things that are coming. Did you watch? And I don't remember if we talked about it. Did you watch Skeleton Crew by chance?
Oh crap! I forgot about Skeleton Crew. We can talk about it though if you want. I don't
Okay,
mind spoilers.
I'm not going to dive into it. But looking at projects that were like a breath of fresh air, I think that Skeleton Crew, and I've said this before, was one of the most fun projects I have seen come from Star Wars in a long time. Um, because it really was this, we know the timeline that it took place, but it was this really cool adventure. Yeah, there were kids and it was like a younger show in a sense, but we dealt with the pirates. I mean, the whole thing was really about the pirates. We got introduced to Jude Law's character, who was just awesome. Who ended up, we really don't know a lot about him. We know that he is, spoilers ahead, we know that he's trained by the Jedi, we're assuming. He definitely has the
Ooh.
Force. He definitely has a
Ooh.
lightsaber. We know,
Oh, that's dope.
yeah, we know things about him, but we don't know everything. And I think the way that they introduced this mysterious character that we assumed was just a pirate, and end up being something so much more, was a really cool, refreshing, like, okay, wait a minute, like, we haven't thought about some of the Jedi who maybe were training or maybe, were allegedly Jedi that just kind of vanished and took another path. They didn't just go into hiding. They just said, "Ah, forget it. I'm gonna go be a pirate and a smuggler." And so it kind of opened up that whole thing. It also opened up these new planets that we've heard about before, but we never got to see in live action, and what those planets had to do in the galaxy. And it was really cool to see yet another show, and Star Wars does this so well, giving us another droid that we can get behind. Like, I have never seen a show focused on a series and a franchise. Like, I don't think anybody talks enough about the droids in Star Wars. Everything from Clone Wars, the cartoon, from the OGs to Rogue One, like, they do so well giving us these personality droids, these droids riddled with personality and story, that they become main characters and you're cheering for them, or you're scared of them. And I thought that Skeleton Crew did a great job. I don't know if they're going to be a second season. I know it was actually rated pretty well, but I want more of Jude Law's character because there's a lot to that story, man.
It's good that we finally found out what happened to his character after the Captain Marvel movie. I was wondering what happened to Jude Law's character because he kind of just like he was sent back to space after he landed. He chased Captain Marvel to Earth, and she sent him packing, and that was all we saw of him.
Well,
So I was kind of wondering what happened.
oh yeah, in the Captain Marvel film, yeah, but I mean, you had me right. I was like, did we just did, did we jump franchises, or is this what happened?
Yeah, it randomly popped in my mind because I forgot Jude Law was in that movie, and I was
Jude
like, oh
Law,
yeah, that.
dude,
Oops.
bro, Jude Law forgot he was in that movie. Like, we'd all like to forget that he was in that movie. And here's the thing: I like Jude Law. I think he's cool, but think I think that's why he did it, bro. Like, I think that's why he was like, I got to go back to space again. I cannot be with the Marvels, man. I'm gonna go to Star Wars. Give me a lightsaber. It was probably in his contract. He's like, bro, I'll be this pirate, but can I have a lightsaber? Like, can I?
Either make me a superhero or a Jedi. I need
Yeah,
something
don't give me that.
sci-fi.
Yeah, yeah. They approached him, were like, Jude, we want you on the Star Wars franchise, and he's like, great. It's a kids show, and he's like, come on, man. But but I
Compromise, darn it.
give me a lightsaber, fine. No, but I'm telling you right now, I thoroughly enjoyed um, Skeleton Crew, and I think again that's what we need from Star Wars, are these fresh takes. And it brought us up to, we now have an announcement of another movie coming out, Starfighter, I believe it's called. That name could change, and that's gonna have what's his face in it, who I can't remember because I'm exhausted. Who's been rumored to Ryan Gosling, um,
Oh yeah,
who's been rumored to be in Marvel or Star Wars for the last several years. He is now going to be in that.
the
We
new
don't,
Black Panther.
yeah, that Ryan Gosling, perfect. I mean, why not,
Those memes have been hilarious.
bro? I can't. Every time I see it, I'm like, yeah, that makes sense. That good God, the internet wins. The internet wins, and that's one of them. Um, Jesus. Uh, we don't know much about Starfighter. We also don't know exactly when it takes place on the timeline. I think this is the scrapped movie that we heard about years ago when Penny Jenkins was writing the Rogue Squadron film, and
Oh
they fired her, scrapped her, and I think they reformulated that and now have a different director. But to me, I feel like that's the concept, and I'm okay with it. Like, yeah, let's talk about these guys. Is it going to have to do with the Empire? Is it going to have to do with the First Order? Or maybe it's just going to have to do with nothing around that, and it's just connected to doing peace in the galaxy. But again, Top Gun in space? Okay, sign me up. I'm in. Why not? You know what I mean? Like, think about
yeah,
cool battles that we could have. Like, that's what we want. Some aerial space battles with all those spaceships. Like, dude, I'm in. Like, that sounds entertaining. So they announced that. Um, they also talked about kind of, we're at the final season of Andor, Um,
yeah.
I don't know. I know you were kind of a little behind on that, so I don't want to give away too much.
I'm caught up.
You are okay, bro.
Yeah, I caught up on that, and I did finish. I did finish Underworld.
Cool. I want to dive to that too. Um, can we say that Andor is the best Star Wars television out there? Can we just can we can we openly admit? I mean, this is my opinion. How are they writing this Star Wars series, still being in the Star Wars universe, still very much Star Wars for adults, and how is it better than 70% of the stuff we've gotten? Andor to me is perfect, dude. It's perfect. And it's,
Yeah,
dude, this season in particular, we got the massacre. Oh my God. I felt like that episode was a 2-hour movie. It was building and building, and we're like, it's coming. The Gorman massacre is happening. We've heard about it. We're very familiar with it. We remember Mon Mothma's speech in Rebels, which we got to see live. Like,
yeah,
oh my God! And it is, and they've referenced Palpatine, and they've referenced, but what they're doing with that show is something I mean, I never thought they were going to pull it off. I was just, when I first heard about Andor, I was like, yeah, okay, this will be fun. I had no idea what they were. This is some of the best Star Wars. And I'm going to tell you right now, we know how it ends for most of these characters. Um, so we know that's coming. That's sad. But seeing the wheels start turning for the rebellion and seeing the pieces come together and exactly what happened to Senator whatever Monmouth whatever and how she escaped from the Senate when they were tracking her down. Like, dude,
dude.
I don't know,
Yeah,
man. I'm watching each episode and I'm like, I'm blown away, man.
yeah. The establishment of this is just fantastic. I agree with you too. How the establishment of this is perfect. I think that they really hit the ground running, especially because this time in this era in the episode, well, between episodes 3 and 4 is vital,
Huge.
and uh, continuing this between the ooh, I almost said Rogue Squadron, between the Empire and the Rebellion
Yeah.
is vital, that they keep hitting that, and the sacrifices that they have to, that each side have to make, and how far the rebellion has to go, what they are willing to really do. And it is, I had to keep reminding myself, like, dang, this is all leading to Rogue One.
Yeah.
And it is really sad. But it's really cool too, thinking about the like the references that we'll be able to pinpoint. Like, I can't wait to watch the Easter egg videos afterwards, and then go back to the movies and pick those out.
Yeah.
I can't wait.
Yeah, because I was doing that on the last couple episodes and going, oh my gosh, she's giving the Senate speech. I heard this Senate speech before. It was in Rebels. Wait a minute, she escaped on the Ghost on that ship, the Rebel ship, like that she eventually gets to is, I think it's called the Ghost in Rebels. She escaped on that ship, and Thrawn was tracking her down in Rebels to kidnap her or to get her as she was escaping the Senate. So that is literally what was happening at that time, because this is before, you got to remember, like this. So I was talking to somebody about Thrawn the other day about this, and they're like, no, 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 Thrawn is on Dathomir. And I'm like, no, dude, this is before Thrawn even got lost. This is
Yeah,
like Thrawn is an active part of the Empire, and he is hunting her down when she escapes the Senate. We literally just saw that happen. So that's crazy to me to think about that. And then we got to see how the androids, by the way, that had to be the most terrifying thing I've ever seen, was when they released those androids and the droids into Gorman, and they just started thrashing people, like literally throwing bodies. I was like, "Oh, you ain't stopping these."
that was like some Clone Wars flashbacks to how vicious the droids could be.
Dude, it was. And again, we got to see how they kidnapped one, got the damaged one and turned it like this is the Star Wars stuff we needed. To be able to do it without lightsabers, to be able to do it without Sith and Jedi, that's what we need. We need that. We've seen so much, and don't get me wrong, I love me some lightsaber duels, but
Hmm.
being able, I think that if you put lightsabers or Jedi in Andor, it doesn't really fit. It doesn't really fit the vibe of the show. So being able to be in that world and not have it is man. And it's wrapping up. I think, I don't know if it's this week or next week, but we only got
Um,
left. It's I think it's the end of the month, if I'm not mistaken.
yeah, I think we have 3 episodes left.
Yeah, and are they doing? I don't think they're. I mean, are they spreading it over the next 3 weeks? Is that what they're doing, like single episodes, or because they've been dropping like two
Mm.
episodes at a time, 3 episodes at a time, and I'm like, the debut, dude, the debut was 3 episodes. I stayed up till like 1 o'clock in the morning watching the 3 episodes of Andor season 2. I was like, doing one of these. I'm
Oh
done,
man,
man. Um,
yeah, that'd be intense. I mean, for the finale, I wouldn't be surprised if they did like a 2 episode
Dude,
like
yeah,
cut.
I got to.
Yeah,
I got to. You said you watched Tales of the Underworld. What were your thoughts on that, man?
I gotta admit, I was surprised about the characters they followed in that. Now, before I jumped in, I did get a little spoiled about Asajj,
Sure.
and I remember that. What? Where did we see her first? Was it?
Well, we saw her.
we saw her return officially in a series before this.
She was in Bad Batch, the last season of Bad.
There we go.
Yeah.
Um, so that's when we first found out that she had returned
Yeah.
officially, and we were kind of like, oh. And but then she did reference that she referenced kind of subtly that she had come back from the dead.
Right. We didn't know how though. We still don't know how.
Yeah, yeah, and even in this, it's kind of like alluded, but not. You know, it was interesting. I like how they dive a bit more into her backstory, and I like that, or her continuation. I like how they're continuing her story. Um, I'm glad that she is back. I just like her character in general, so I'm a bit biased about that. um, but I wanted more. So when it got to Cad Bane's story, I'm kind of just like, I want Asajj back.
Yeah. I think what got me is okay, so I like when they released Tales of the Jedi. That was cool. I like when they went with Tales of the Empire because we got some Dooku stuff, and I always thought that I wanted more Dooku, so that was cool. Um,
Yeah,
so Tales of the Underworld, I was like, okay, I was thinking more of like the crime syndicate or some of the lower levels of Coruscant or you know.
yep, that makes sense.
So when they showed us, Ventress, I was like, she's not really Underworld. I mean, I guess she came back from the dead, so, but I'm like,
They
like,
took it literal.
yeah, like literally, like the whole story is really like, I mean, again, I like the character and I like seeing her kind of find her own apprentice in a way. Um, but it just felt kind of, it's very open ended. So I don't know if we're going to get anything more in the animated series or if they're going to come back to it, but it didn't make sense. And so when they went to the Cad Bane story, I was like, okay, this is night and day. This is kind of more of the underworld I was thinking because it felt
Yep.
like 1930s Chicago, New York type vibe. Like there's all these little gangs and these kids were doing these little petty crimes and it was kind of cool and that was fun. And I mean, it wasn't great, but it was fun and but I felt like you only gave us really two characters. It's not really much tales. You gave us two characters and one of them felt more underworld and the other one you never ended the story. Like I don't know. It wasn't my favorite out of the quote unquote Tales series, so to speak. It wasn't my favorite. I think Tales of the Jedi and Tales of the Empire were way better.
Yeah. Even though even with Tales, I think my Tales of the Jedi, I think my only issue was how they handled Ahsoka's part. But other than that, the Tales of the Jedi was still really dope. Um, but yeah, Tales of the Underworld, I feel like this was kind of like mislabeled for sure.
I think so.
Um,
Yeah. It felt
yeah,
it was very misleading. Very misleading.
yeah, and with Cad Bane, even though it was cool to see, his backstory and see a bit of like where he started, some old friendships there, and even though what where that led to, it it was along those. It was one of those things where I felt like I just wanted to see. I guess I wish they had put it in a different placement. I
Yeah.
think that's where it was just misplaced in general. Like both stories were misplaced. I think Cad Bane's story probably would have been fit better with something else. Like if Cad Bane's story was with another Underworld story, like maybe I don't know, someone else in the Underworld and the Saz Ventress, if they put her did 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 the Bad Batch season where she was revealed to be alive, did that come out before or after Tales of the Jedi?
Well, you're gonna make me dig deep in the memory banks for this one. That
Because
was
I was trying to think,
it was
because
the
they
final
could have.
season of Bad Batch that she debuted or made her appearance.
Oh, so
Um,
it probably went
so
afterwards then.
I don't even know if it was way after because Tales of the Jedi. I mean, that might have been around the same year, as far as
Mm,
being released. Because I mean, Tales of the Jedi was only like a couple years ago, and so
yeah.
Bad Batch final season wasn't last year. I think it was 2 years ago. So it could have been around the same time. I really don't know.
Okay. Yeah, because it would have made more sense to fit it in like there, I think, instead of like the underworld.
I
Because
also,
it just
yeah, I also thought it was really weird. Speaking of her and Bad Batch, I almost felt like her appearance really didn't make any sense. Like I enjoyed it, but I was like, "Oh, cool. Where are we going with this?" And then I was like, "Oh, never mind.
yeah.
We're not going anywhere." And it was almost like
She
they,
was like high and by.
yeah, it was almost like they did that just in case they wanted to go somewhere again. Um, I don't know. I think Star Wars on the animated side. I mean, if Tales of the Underworld is probably their weakest, we're still doing pretty darn good on this Star Wars because I mean they really don't miss when it comes to the animated stuff. They've done such a good job in character development and storytelling and action sequences, which is probably why I'm excited about the Maul Shadow King. Um, Even though I don't think we need it, I don't. I think that he had such an amazing story arc and they did such a great job. There is a big chunk, I mean, looking at from that solo movie, from that moment all the way to the battle at Mandalore, there's a lot of stuff that took place. There's a lot of stuff that took place, after he fought Palpatine again, where he disappeared to and where he was in the prison and being tortured. And like, there's a lot of stuff that has happened. So I'm not against it because Maul is a great character. I just don't think we need it. That's all. Like, I think it's going to be great.
Yeah.
I'm going to watch it and I'll probably start watching it and be like, never mind, I love it. But I just didn't think we needed it. But again, it's an animated show, so I'm okay with it.
Yeah, that makes sense. And it's good that it isn't necessary, but it's something that they're like, yeah, why not? It's good to see that um it's something that is just fun to experience because it's a story, like you were saying, it's a cool thing that we are kind of interested in. Like I kind of want to see what all what all was like kind of happening during that point, like how he did this and that. And while we kind of already get the gist because we already know like A to B already, but the little webbings that connect A to B, all those little bridges in between, um, is fun at this point.
Yeah.
So
And he's a pretty
might as well.
pivotal character and a fan favorite. And so, I mean, if they take pieces of what Lucas originally wanted to do with him, which is what I'm hearing, and kind of
Hmm.
give us that where he's training somebody, an apprentice, or something like that, or we could get that could be kind of cool. That could be pretty cool to see. So um, I'm excited about that. I'm excited. I think it's perfect for the Disney Plus platform. They need more content, and these are the type of things that you can get away with doing on the platform, and it makes perfect sense. Um, I'm really, really. I think one of the biggest things I'm most excited about is probably Ahsoka season two. Um, they recast him. They recast Balin, um, which had to be.
Scheduling differences, right? Was it?
Yeah, well, yeah. Scheduling is in he's dead. So there's that. he couldn't
Oh
he
no.
couldn't schedule to be on this earth anymore. So he's
Oh my God. Oh, I read an article about it and they said scheduling conflicts.
yeah,
Oh my God.
because he's dead. Dang,
That's one heck of a scheduling
guys,
conflict.
I can't make it. Why I died. Um, Yeah, he died right at the end of Ahsoka. Like literally filmed
Oh
it,
my god.
which sucked because Balin was such an awesome character.
Oh, him. Okay. I got my characters mixed up. Okay, never mind. I know who you're talking about.
But the guy that they got to play Balin is phenomenal,
Yeah.
like absolutely phenomenal. And him and Ray, the guy who played Balin, were like best, like they were best friends, like in real life. So having a phenomenal actor, like I feel like it's a perfect way to go. I think he's going to do him justice, and he's such a pivotal character. You can't write him off. You know,
Yeah,
he's
especially because what his character is probably interested in doing. There's something he's really wanting to do.
everybody's thinking it's either they're going to go back to the because we saw the statue of the father and the daughter, and we saw those statues, but now they're thinking they're going to go to what's her name? I'm going to say Azabeth or uh, is Azabeth?
Hmm.
Um,
As Azrael?
no, 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 no.
Hmm.
Something Beth. It's as guys. I'm tired. I apologize. Uh,
Macbeth. No, I'm joking.
it's
That'd be horrible.
and that is the one that they basically imprisoned. Um, it's like pure chaos, and he said he doesn't believe in. He's not a Jedi. He's not a Sith. He doesn't believe in the dark, like both sides. And he even talks about it at the end. He says the Empire the Jedi Order fails, the Empire rises. It happens over and over again in one way or another. I'm searching for something different. And I'm like, is that what he's going for? But we don't know that. We don't know. That being said, there's so much going on with Ahsoka season 2 where they're heading that way. Thrawn is on Dathomir, which is freaking creepy by itself. And he's got the witches with him, so there's that. Um, and Ezra's out, but Ahsoka's trapped. Like,
Yeah.
dude, I don't know. So I think for me, coming out, in 2026, seeing Ahsoka season 2, I think that's my biggest thing I'm looking forward to the most. And I still want to see if Ahsoka's dead or not.
Oh man.
Because
It's gonna hurt. It's gonna
it's
hurt
gonna
my
hurt.
heart.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
I don't think she'll die in Ahsoka. I think she'll die in Filoni's movie. That's my thing.
Yeah.
But I was talking to this guy online, which always sounds creepy. Um, we were going to meet up. He was going to give me candy. It was weird. No. Um, but
Big white van.
yeah, he said, make sure my parents are asleep before I sneak out of the house. But he was saying that, just because we heard her voice at the end of, Rise of Skywalker doesn't mean she's dead. And I was like, dude, he was like, what if she's just reaching out to Ray because Ray is such a strong moment and all the other Jedi were speaking to her that she picked up on it and reached out to her. And I said, man, that's a cool theory. I said, but the only thing
Hmm.
wrong with that theory is every other Jedi that talked to her was dead. So like
Yeah.
she's the only one. Like even Ezra's voice wasn't in there, and we're assuming Ezra's alive. So, well, he is alive. So, so I don't know. It's a cool theory, but I think there's only one way to go, and that's Ahsoka dies. She dies,
Yeah.
or
If she was to, I think the Filoni movie would make the most sense too, especially with what all they want to do, whatever it is. But um, from what we've heard about the movie or movies, I forget what he wanted to do. Um, Definitely a big thing from what he's established so far. So,
so I mean, it makes sense. But either way, I think that Star Wars, the fan base, they're so toxic. But I think that
oh,
way, it's just like nobody can enjoy anything, dude. It's ridiculous. Um,
yeah.
I think we are in though. Like I just feel like, yeah, we can talk about the misses. We could talk about the acolyte missing. They kind of let us down on that. I do think it had some cool moments though, and I do think there were some cool concepts in it. But I think they kind of built it and advertised it the wrong way. Um,
They definitely built it and advertised it. If it was named something different and was advertised differently, it could have definitely hit better.
yeah,
I think the series itself was still good though, but yeah, they messed up that front.
they did, yeah. But I mean, if you look at overall, I mean, we've got the Mandalorian, we've gotten Andor, we've gotten these animated series, we're getting a Maul series, we got a Skeleton Crew. Like, if you look at what they've done, I'm like, I don't know, man. I feel like Disney's done pretty well with Star Wars since they rebounded from the sequels. You know, since they
Oh yeah,
I feel like they've done pretty well. And I just rewatched Solo again, and I'm going to tell you right now, that movie is a fun movie. It's not perfect, but man, I think Solo got undeserved hate. That movie is cool, man. It's a good movie. And people
I
hate.
agree. I didn't I didn't what was it called? Oh wait, I said that wrong. I I loved that movie, but I that movie came out around The Last Jedi, right? Like after it?
So it came out. Yeah, I think it did. Yes, it was between.
Oh, okay.
I think it was between the Last Jedi and the final Rise of Skywalker, or whatever it's called.
Oh, okay.
Is that
Because
what?
I think, if I remember correctly, I think that was why people were giving it so much hate because they
And
were like boycotting The Last Jedi.
and then there was so much controversy in the movie. They fired the director, halfway through the film. They brought in Ron Howard to kind of tweak it out. And that being said, though, cast was cool. Lando was dope. I mean, like,
Yep.
I want more of that, like, um, I thought the guy who played Han Solo did a great job. I love seeing him and Chewbacca, like the way they connected. I thought that was really cool how they met. We got to see the Kessel Run. Like, come on, dude. Um, and then,
Oh, that creature.
yes,
Oh,
bro.
wow.
And then we also saw the weird. I don't think they needed to do it, but the Darth Maul little holograph thing I thought was very cool. But I was telling this, I did this on the last show. I talked about if you didn't watch Clone Wars or you didn't watch the like Clone Wars the animated series or you didn't watch Rebels, you'd have been completely lost on why Darth Maul was there. You'd have been like,
Yeah.
well, so it didn't. And most of the Star Wars fans, and I'll say this, like the ones that go see the movies, the Star Wars fan, not the Star Wars fanatic, they're not watching the animated stuff. My dad loves Star Wars and watches all the live action stuff. He ain't watching the animated stuff. So he would be like, what is Darth Maul doing here? This doesn't make sense. So it was kind of a weird thing to do. I think they just did it to save the movie, and I don't think it needed to be in there. But the movie itself was good, undeserved hate. That's one of those movies that people go back and watch and go, "Yeah, we should have saw this in the movie theaters. This is cool." Because I didn't
I
even.
was glad I saw that in the theater.
You did? I missed it. I missed
Yeah.
it in the theater. Not because I was boycotting it. It was just weird timing for me on what I had going on, and I never got to see it. Um, it wasn't until I think Disney Plus. It might have no. I think I rented it the minute like that I could rent it from some streaming service prior to Disney Plus, because that came to Disney Plus wasn't out yet. So it might have been like Amazon or something stupid like that, and I rented it, and I was like, dude, this movie's good. But that's what I watched. So final Star Wars thing. Have you been playing any of the Fortnite lately? Any Star Wars Fortnite?
Yeah. Yeah, that's become a little bit of a tradition of mine. I once I saw that they have like I don't know what they're calling him officially yet in the game, but Darth Jar Jar, once I saw he was in the trailer, I was like, I definitely got to play this. this season they're doing.
It's got some. It's a difficult season. I'm gonna be honest because some of the way the guns shoot, like it's weird not to have ammo. Um,
Yeah,
you know, I do like flying, but I feel like it's super easy to take down the TIE fighters and stuff. Um, but I do love doing it, and that's fun. I do like how they kind of, and I think they did it because it's a short season. So I think they did it, made it a little bit easier so that we could experience a lot of those things. So they didn't make it difficult. Like, I got a lightsaber the other day, I found Palpatine and I was like, sweet. And lightsaber thrashes, man. And it's easy
yes,
because they even mark them on the map where to find these guys. Um,
I love that.
I love it too. People are like, "Oh, it's stupid," and I'm like, "Dude, it's a short season. I think
Mm,
I just want everybody to have some fun." Do I think it's perfect?
oh yeah,
No, but I tell you what, man, I've gotten my most wins ever so far, dude.
yeah. I think that's the best way to do it is to have those seasons like this where people can just have really fun cheese moments, even if it's just for a little bit, or
Yeah,
even just like limited or what's it called? Like Team Rumble. I don't know if you played Team Rumble, but
no.
it's a mode where you can just keep respawning
Oh yeah, yeah.
until
Do that.
so having game modes like that aside from just the regular battle royale, like having modes like that makes Fortnite so much more fun than normal. So that's what I think makes that's what makes Fortnite so fun to me is having all these different modes.
I
And
agree.
this, for instance, is like amazing.
And it was really cool because Luke plays it and him and I play together. We haven't got one together yet. He's won by himself. I've won by myself, but we haven't won together yet. We've gotten down to like the last two, and then things happen. But I'm
It's
also not
tricky.
that like I'm not that deep. It's not that deep for me. Like I'm not gonna. I'm just trying to have a good time. I know. I told him. I said, "Buddy, we'll win one day. I promise. We will." Um, but it's cool. Like we got the free skin. We got the free first order stormtrooper skin. Because
Nice.
yeah, and you link. All you have to do is link your Disney Plus account to your Epic account, and you get the skin. That's it. So um,
Oh, I got to do that. I
yeah,
didn't know
do
about
it.
that.
Yeah, check, do it, and it was awesome. It was like we got it, and I was like, great. I got to give a shout out to Epic too because was having issues on mine. Mine wasn't appearing, but his did. Mine appeared the next day, and they gave me an extra 300 V bucks just in my account. Yeah, I know it's not a lot,
Dude,
but I was like, you didn't have to do.
that's something.
Yeah,
Yeah.
So Luke and I, his big thing, he gets out of school in 2 weeks, and he's been really working hard at his grades. So I told him, I said, man, if your final report card is like better than your last one, dude. We're gonna celebrate by I'm gonna get you V Bucks, we're gonna buy some skins, and have some fun. And he's been giving me his progress report, and I know he's in first grade. It's whatever, but he's giving me his progress report. And man, I must have said the magic words, man, because I'm like, all right, bro, like we're gonna like I have a cap on how many V Bucks I'm gonna spend, okay, buddy. But but I told him like we can get you a couple skins, So we're gonna do that on the last day of school. He really wants Grievous, and they haven't released.
Me too.
Yeah, they haven't released him to buy yet. It's like he's unlockable, but you can't buy him yet. Like, but I know he's gonna be there. Um,
I think in 4 days he should be available.
oh, okay, cool.
At least in the battle pass, something like that.
I'm gonna make sure, and I'm hoping he lasts till the last day of school. I think he will. But because it really sucked to like have him come out in 4 days and they pull him before the month's even over. Um,
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's, and I think it goes until like June 7th,
I
but
think
I would definitely double check.
so. I'm gonna make sure he gets it. He wants Grievous. I'm the only Star Wars one I really want. Like as much as I want Anakin, I'm like, I just want the red stormtrooper or the black stormtrooper. Um, I don't really. I don't even want Darth Maul. I like Darth Maul. Or Mace Windu. I like all those guys. I might get Darth Jar Jar if I can. That's kind of funny. Uh,
Yeah, I want him.
Dude, he's the reason I watched that Lego Star Wars on Disney was to see Darth freaking Jar Jar.
How was that?
Not great.
Ah,
But I think you would like it because it had some moments, I will say that. But you like some of those Lego things. I struggle with the Lego stuff. So it's not fair
yeah.
for me to say. But this was at least entertaining. It was entertaining at least.
Oh, okay.
It was better than the last couple, but it's just not my thing. So but anyway, I won't keep you longer, guys. This has been uh we're both been working really hard lately, guys. So I can't speak for Nick, but I can speak for myself. My energy level is really just not around right now. I'm drained. So sorry for the lack of enthusiasm, but I'm very stoked that we got to do this. This
Me too.
it's just been so much fun doing it for the last couple years now, and just really to recap and what we do to celebrate Star Wars and what we like about it and what we're looking forward to is always fun. Um, Got to get dude make more episodes beyond Star Wars, but Nick, final thoughts? Anything that really stands out for you? What did you do to celebrate Star Wars on the 5th? Anything you want to mention?
I played a bunch of Star Wars Battlefront 2.
I
Um, it was really cool getting back into that because I realized I didn't do a lot of character custom. Well, let me rephrase that. I did all the character customization because I maxed out the. I bought the Ultimate Edition a while back where I had all the majority of the skins unlocked,
nice.
but I didn't get a lot of the skills unlocked, so I still got to do that. But it was fun getting back into the game. The game to this day is still very fun.
It's still one of the best
And
games out there, man. It's the best.
oh yeah,
Yeah, I agree.
yeah, I want to replay the storyline too because the storyline was still very fun too.
Yeah, I need to dive into that again. Um, I haven't played the storyline in a long time. I feel like we've been robbed of the Battlefront series. You know, it's
Yeah, especially because the third one, I'm still mad that it was basically done and they still trashed it. It's like in what in what business does that make sense? Like all those resources are gone and that all that time, all that money, why? That doesn't make any sense.
yeah. I don't get that at all, man, and I don't think we'll ever see it. I don't. I mean, somebody was like, "There's a possibility one day." I'm like, I doubt it. I doubt it.
Yeah, it's probably completely scrapped. Like it might be on someone's hard drive somewhere, but who knows?
Yeah, exactly. Well, all right, guys. It's the Life of an Average Show podcast. I'm going to go wind down. Nick, always good to have you here. I'll tag all your awesomeness so that people can follow, people can check out your stuff. Dude, he's done so much like cool Star Wars related art too. I don't want to give anything away. So, um, and a lot of people
Thank you.
can see it. Yeah. And guys, tune in next week. Something just fell on the floor. Don't know what it was. Tune in next week for the Life of an Average Joe. We will be. I will be. I think this is the second to my last episode using this type of recording. So I'm very excited to jump over to StreamYard and get on there. I just think it's smoother. They have so many editing abilities and you know, like just the way you can do the fonts and I'm excited for it. So that'll be
I
fun.
can't wait to see it.
Yeah, it's a lot of work though. It's just diving into it. Once you get into it, it's like, oh, that's pretty easy. But at first, I was looking at it after I recorded an episode, and I'm like, oh crap, what am I doing here? You know, like, but it's easy. You know, so I'm excited about that. And then, yeah, we'll be back. Nick will be back soon. I'm sure we've got some Marvel stuff down the road. I think what I want to do, and I'm gonna put it together. We'll plan a date. We've got Fantastic Four coming out. Um,
Yes.
that. I think we'll probably do a Fantastic Four one, and I really want to do a Superman one. Think it's
Yes.
I think it's time. So maybe what we'll do is we'll record half of our podcast coming out prior to the release of the new Superman movie. And that'll be the first half. Then you and I will go
Mhm.
see it, and then we'll dive in and nerd out about. I think that'll be cool and see how it comes together. That'll be fun because we haven't done anything with DC in a long time because, well, you know. So
Yeah, that'd be cool because I definitely like those two movies, especially. I'm really excited for Fantastic Four. Very
oh,
like top five superhero team for me,
sure.
and Superman. There's so much going on in that movie from what we've seen in the trailers. Super stoked for that movie. So
Dude, and we finally got the teaser for Peacemaker season 2. And
yeah,
did you
that looks
see
crazy.
who's in it? We've got Justice.
I saw that there's like, oh, it happened.
Well, Hawk Girl's in it. Um, Green Lantern are
They
in.
make an appearance in Peacemaker or Peacemaker.
Yeah,
Holy crap! Go James Gunn. He's finally doing what the original DCU couldn't do.
and
That's crazy.
I don't know what that's going to be or what it means, but I watched the teaser and I see him sitting there. I'm like, wait a minute, and I look and I'm like, holy crap, that's Hawk Girl and or Hawk Woman or whatever she's called, and that's Green Lantern. What the? So I don't know what that means. I don't know. I don't know what they're setting up in Peacemaker, but at least and um what's his name? Rick Flag. The he was in Suicide.
Oh, Rick Flag Senior.
Rick Flag Senior. So he voiced that character in Creature Commandos. Well, now the actor who voiced him is Rick Flag Senior, and he's in Peacemaker as well.
Yeah, that's cool. They're bringing him over, kind of connecting everything, which is cool.
Yeah,
So
I liked Creature Command.
that's
Creature Commandos
yeah,
was
Creatures Commandos. Yeah, that series was great.
dude. It doesn't get talked about enough. That was cool, man. So anyway, we've got some exciting stuff. I'll let you go enjoy your evening. I'm going to go enjoy my night. And I'm probably going to take a shower and go to bed if you really want me to be honest with you. So, all right, man. Well, thank you again. And thanks for everybody for supporting all of us. And we'll see you next week. So, later, guys.
Take care. Thanks for having me.
Always.